Jai Jinendra Arham, how are you, beta?
Just names. I'm good.
Good, good, beta. Arham, did you receive the bhavna for the recitation next week, Saturday? You are participating, right, or are you not?
I don't know.
Okay, what does that mean? You don't know, as in you haven't checked with your parents, or you are
I don't
busy,
think so.
so you're not participating. That's what it means.
Yeah.
Okay, no worries then. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what I was wondering because I did get, let's see, who all. I did put all the names there. So I think I have five kids who are participating. Arush is, who is eight, Bhavna eight, right? Mihika is 9 and 10. Udayan is doing 11. And then Sarthak and Tattva are 12 and 13. Okay. So far, I have these names who are participating. And just as a reminder again, kids, that the MJK event is on Saturday, 17th, at 12 EST. Okay, so mark your calendar, mark your schedule accordingly, and just show up. Okay. Udayan Jai Jinan beta, I cannot see you fully because there's some fuzziness. So
Judgment.
Jai Jinan beta. It's kind of dark. So one other thing I'll do with you, Udayan, is I will assign you. I was chatting with your mom yesterday. So I will. So you have one of the bhavnas, right? You have which one? You have bhavna number 11 that you have to recite. Did you see it? Did you receive it? Huh, beta? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that, and then maybe I would check and see if I can assign you. Let's see, who was I chatting with? So I'm a bit confused. Oh, let me check. So not Arush. Who was I chatting with? I think I was chatting with your mom. So I will assign you the introduction to the bhavna also, right? What does the para bhavna means? What are we reciting and everything? Okay. So some protocol word here. Sarthak, Jai Jinan beta. Thank you for joining. है ना? You received your bhavna. I shared it with your father. The bhavna
Yeah,
that you have to
recorded
recite.
and
Oh, you have recorded it? Perfect. I know you are not going to be.
we are going to record it.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So you would not be able to be there in person, correct? On
Yeah,
17th. अच्छा ठीक है no worries if you can record it and send it over once you are done with the recording that would be awesome है ना I will play it at the right moment so you have number 12 and number 13 between you and Tat right so that's what we'll cover ठीक है
yeah.
so that said let's do Namokar mantra and then we'll start for what we have today uh, you know um, we have to cover the leftover Das Dharm, the last two. Okay, that's what we'll cover. And then also, I will do a quick recitation of the bhavnas that are assigned to you. That way, you understand the pronunciation. If you have any questions for me, we can take those. Okay, so let's do Namokar mantra first together. नमो अरिहंताणम नमो सिद्धाणम नमो आयरियाणम नमो उवज्झायाणम नमो लोए सवसाहुणम ऐसो पंच नमो यारो सव पाव पणाशणौ मंगलाणम च सव्वेसिम पढ़मम हवै मंगलम Jai Jinan Bachon. So, the topic that we were covering is the topic of Das Lakshan Dharm, right? Das Lakshan Dharm is basically a collection of 10 dharm which are considered as the dharm of the sadhus, and every Shravak should also make every attempt to follow these dharm to the degree possible for a Shravak. However, for sadhus, this is like the mandatory requirement. All sadhus have to follow and exhibit the Das Lakshan Dharma. Now, the significance of Das Lakshan Dharma on our calendar is that once a year, although Das Lakshan Parv comes multiple times in a year, but at least once a year, we Shravaks do follow what is called as a parv. Right now, the word I am talking about is a parv. Parv means a festival. Now, this is not a festival like Diwali or any other, but rather a first festival of Sanyam, of Tap, of self-restraint, of Tyag, and this is a Parv that has highest significance in Jain Dharma, right? So we all do celebrate Das Lakshan Dharma. I'm sure your family members exercise a lot of extra precautions. They do Vrat and Upvas during this Das Lakshan Parv, right? Now, what is Das Lakshan Parv? Das Lakshan Parv is a festival that we celebrate for 10 days, where each day is dedicated towards one of the 10 Lakshan Dharma that we have covered. Right now, I'm sure you would remember some of these 10 Lakshan Dharma, but for your purposes, let me do a reminder of these 10 Lakshan. What are these? We start with Uttam Kshama. Uttam Kshama is supreme forgiveness, uh, or supreme forbearance, right? That's Uttam Shama. The second one is Uttam Mardav, that's supreme humility. Then comes Uttam Arjav, that's supreme straightforwardness. And then comes Uttam uh, Shach, that's supreme purity, supreme purity. That's perhaps the right translation for it. Then comes Uttam Satya. What is Uttam Satya? Uttam Satya is supreme truth or truthfulness. And then comes Uttam Sanyam, that is self-restraint, supreme self-restraint. After Sanyam comes Tap. Tap is penance, Uttam Tap, right? So we use the word Uttam in front of each of these names of the Daslakshan, which is signifying supremeness or the highest form of that particular dharma, right? And as I mentioned, the highest form of these dharma are supposed to be are followed um, by the yatis और by the monks, है ना? अपने जो साधु होते हैं उनके लिए ये फॉलो करना, इसको एग्जिबिट करना मस्ट है. एंड फॉर द श्रावक्स, दे शुड डू इट in the extreme, in the most, in the as per their capacity, है ना? सो कहां तक पहुंचे थे अपन? उत्तम तप. उत्तम तप means supreme penance. Then comes uttam tyag, which is supreme sacrifice, or giving away in loose Hindi. And then comes Uttam Akinchanya, the eighth one, which stands, or Uttam Aparigrah, that is supreme renunciation. The last one is Uttam Brahmacharya, which is supreme celibacy. Now, today we are going to do cover the topics of Uttam Akinchanya, aka um, Uttam Aparigrah, and then Uttam Brahmacharya. So we have two stories, one each. That's what we are going to cover. But one important thing that I want to call out, which is a very subtle thing. So we last time we talked about Uttam Tap and Uttam Tyag. In particular on Uttam Tyag, right? What does Uttam Tyag means? It is giving away, right? As I mentioned, right? Or applying um, uh, basically what Uttam Tyag stands for is, again, it is about giving up your possessions, right? So while Uttam Tyag is about giving away your possessions, that's something that you don't need or which are not required by you to maintain a modest life. That is what Uttam Tyag is. Uttam Akinchanya or Uttam Aparigraha is more about limiting them, right? So think of it. One is about uh, giving up the possessions that you already have. And how do you do that? By doing donations, by applying your resources in the right direction, right? Doing dan, there are four types of dan that we covered. What are the four types of dan? There is uh, uh, ahar dan, aushadhi dan, uh, Shastradan and Abhaydan, right? So Ahardan means donating food to our Chaturvid Sangh. Muni's Chaturvid Sang. That includes Muni, Arika, Ellak, and Shullak, and also to the Vrati Shravaks. Putting money aside or giving directly, preparing food and doing a donation of that food is Ahar Dan. Shastra Dan or Gyan Dan is exactly, it could be like donating uh, money towards Shastra, towards scriptures, involved in publishing of the scriptures, donating the scriptures to the Acharya and Sadhus for so that they can do their Swadhyay. Also, contributing your time and resources towards educating on Jainism is a type of Shastra Dan or Gyan Dan. Like if I'm involved in, any volunteered myself into a activity that is towards preparation of Jain content or uh, something that is towards imparting Jain education, then that is an exhibition of expression of Gyandan or Shastradan as well, right? The last one is Abhaydan, which is about if you are a person of authority and and you are forgiving someone, right? Or saving someone's life, that is Abhaydan. है ना? So that also is a type of dan. Who can do that kind of dan? Only one who has the authority and responsibility towards life, right? So if you are a official, if you are a king, if you are a prince, if you are a judge, that kind of profession, right? Or for that matter, if you are a common layperson and you are involved in saving lives of other, right? So that is Abhaydan. Like you are a person who is involved in saving, who has set up a Goshala, right? A cow shelter. That is an expression of Abhaydan because you are more resourceful than a Tiryanch and you are making every effort, honest effort to save life of a Tiryanch. In this case, a guy or a cow, right? So that is also an expression of Abhaydan. Okay. Also, bearing arms or resources towards protection of our Chaturvid Sang, our Muni Maharaj, our Arika ji, our Ellak and Shullak, right? We are Shravaks and we have a responsibility towards, protecting our people, right? By the way, you know this, we covered this, that doing Virodhi Hinsa, right, is allowed for a common Shravak like us. What is Virodhi Hinsa? The violence uh, done for defense is Virodhi Hinsa, right? So if there is somebody who's a soldier and they are bearing arm and doing violence to protect their society, their nation, their family, their culture, and their religion, that type of violence is allowed for a Jain Shravak, right? As a Shravak, not as a Muni, right? But as even for a Shravak, a common Shravak like us, it is very much allowed, provided that the violence purpose is towards self-defense or defense of our culture and society, as I mentioned earlier. है ना? तो ये सब अभय दान में आता है. अब आज का जो टॉपिक है वो है अपरिग्रह. As I mentioned, त्याग is more about giving up what you have. Okay? Akinchanya or aparigraha is about limiting what you should have, right? Limiting your possessions. Only focus on your needs and not your wants, right? That is what. Like if I can, I need a phone for a communication, right? If I can limit it to one phone, why not, right? I obviously am a layperson. I have a business to do, and for that I need a vehicle, right? I can limit it to, hey, I will only have a vehicle of this type of this price, right? And that would be enough. I will only maintain 2 or 3 vehicle as per whatever are my needs and limiting it to that. That is also an expression of aparigraha, right? Putting some limit. Now that limit need not be a limit on the dollar amount. It could be a limit on the quantity, right? Like somebody who's too rich, right? And they, let's say, have multiple businesses and they want to, for effective functioning of their business, they need a vehicle in every city where they have business. Sure, In that case, their limit could be like, okay, I will only maintain 2 or 3 vehicles per city to run my business, right? And only use the vehicle when I'm there, right? Other situations, those vehicles I'll provide to my staff to be used, and so forth. So it is not like that the limit is like, oh, as a lay person, should only be bearing one vehicle. It is up to you, as per your needs, as per your lifestyle, right? More importantly, what is important out there is there has to be an idea of limit. You should be self aware and think about it mindfully, that what should be your limit, right? Okay, you are a student, right? You don't have a need for 3 MacBooks or 3 laptops. You only need one, right? You only need, let's say, one iPad for your day to day working. Then limit it to that. Take a vow, limit, and take a limit on that. Put a limit on that. And that's all what we are talking about. Of course, you would need a MacBook, you would need a whatever, a type of a laptop, right? Because we are living in a digital age. You have to, that becomes now part of your education process, right? So you need it at times for study, for submissions, whatnot, right? But then nowhere it said that you would need the most expensive one of that, right? So you could put a limit there. Toys, same thing. You can put a limit on the number of toys that you should have under you, in your possession. If you are done with a toy, then why, you can consider giving away the toy, right? Donating the toy. Books, same thing. If there are books that you have already read through and you don't have a purpose for them, you can consider donating those books, right? So that way you are covering two aspects. One is the aspect of aparigrah, and also the aspect of tyag, right? By donating. So these two things go hand in hand. One is about uh, giving away what you already have, and the second one is more importantly about putting a limit on it. है ना? And the best way to put a limit is by mindfully taking a vow, but always be very careful in the type of vows that you take, right? So if you are taking a vow about putting limit on your possessions, then don't put a Muni Maharaj, Acharya Muni Praman Sagar ji says that you should never put a limit on that's tied to a monetary amount like dollar amount. क्यों? क्योंकि इन्फ्लेशन से क्या होगा? The value that you can buy with a particular amount changes over time, isn't it? Like, in the old times, you could probably buy uh, 5 clothes under $100, right? Uh, in the current times, maybe not, right? In the future, it may get more expensive. Who knows, right? So never take a limit on, okay, I will only buy clothes worth $100. No, you should rather put a limit on the quantity, right? So number of clothes that I will have at a given point in time. You could take a potential limit on that, right? It's a good thing to do. I will only maintain X number of shoes in my shoe rack at a given point in time, right? Anything beyond that, I will give up. Every time, there are people I know of who have taken the vow where they say whenever they buy a new pair of clothes, they give up one pair of clothes from their wardrobe, right? Because that's an expression of a limit that you have put on your the clothes that one has possessing at a given point in time. So these are different ways. Again, you should apply your own discretion in taking such vows, and never take vows in rage and out of force. It should be well thought out, well considered, discussed, and then a vow should be taken, है ना? Vow of akinchan or aparigrah. ठीक है? Brahmacharya, similarly, the last of the bhavana, last of the dharma that we are going to cover today is supreme celibacy. Now, what is brahmacharya? Brahmacharya has a very high meaning in our culture, in our tradition, in the Jain tradition, because brahmacharya is also one of the Mahavrats, right? Remember, we covered these Mahavrats earlier. Ahimsa Mahavrat, Achaurya, Satya, then Aparigrah, and then Brahmacharya was the last one. Brahmacharya means to stay with your own soul. The highest meaning, the most accurate meaning of Brahmacharya is only uh, only involved with your own soul and not in any other thing that could be considered as the source of attachment, right? Only attached to one's soul is the highest form of brahmacharya. Although in the sense of sadhus, brahmacharya also means celibate, which is about not having any physical relationships with people of the gender, right? That is for our sadhus, they follow brahmacharya in that sense and beyond, right? So sometimes people have got started getting confused that brahmacharya is only about limiting your sexual relationships and partnerships at a given point in time. While that is an expression of brahmacharya, but that is not the only expression of brahmacharya, right? So for a lay person, for a student, especially a student, not having sexual relationship is an expression of brahmacharya, right? When you are a married person, limiting your relationships, your physical relationships to your life partner is an expression of brahmacharya. For a sadhu, not having any such relationship whatsoever, not even sitting in the same room alone with a woman is an expression of a brahmacharya, and so forth, right? So again, depending on what is the what ashram is the term for it, but what life you know uh, what's the term I'm going to use for it? What phase of life? Yes, what phase of life you are in, accordingly, the expression of the brahmacharya changes, right? However, the most purest or most accurate form of accurate definition of brahmacharya is to stay with your soul, not being in any type of attachment with anything beyond your soul is brahmacharya. ठीक है ना? So that's what brahmacharya is all about, which means that you somebody is completely is in vitragi avastha, right? They don't have any kind of aversion or attachment of any shape or form. Obviously that includes physical relationships. Obviously it includes relationship or getting involved too much or getting involved in the care of this body even, right? So for sadhus, they don't put any efforts into doing makeups and putting lipsticks or maintaining clothes and everything, because that's something that is a obstacle in their path to salvation. It's an obstacle to staying with the soul. Okay, so these are the two important dharma that we want to cover today. Any questions before we start the videos on Uttam Akincharya and Uttam Brahmacharya? Okay, so as I mentioned, right, for kids your age or you are all teenagers, I think the most important expression of Brahmacharya is not even thinking about physical relationships, right? There will be a time for that, provided you decide to go into the grahastha dharma, right? But before grahastha dharma is taken up, right, once after you have established yourself professionally, uh, the idea of brahmacharya is not having any physical relationships. Okay, any questions beta before we jump onto the video? Okay, let me share my screen now. So let's see, where am I? Share. By the way, just want to ensure that the video is up. This video is up. Okay, share sound. And let's see. Okay. Let's see. Let me share this. may be a bit slow, but let me see if I can take care of that. Okay. सबसे पहले अपन बात करेंगे उत्तम आकिंचन्य की, right? So उत्तम आकिंचन्य. So two names for this ninth dharma, आकिंचन्य और अपरिग्रह, है ना? So I would strongly encourage that you should memorize the name of the 10, right? And whether you memorize the ninth one as Akinchanya or Aparigrah, they both mean the same. Okay, so let's play the story for Akinchanya first. Let me know once it plays if you can hear it clearly.
Once upon a time, there was a very revered Maharaji, meaning a monk, who went to a jungle. It was said that anyone who obtained his blessings would lead a very happy life. Once, a man in the nearby village went to seek his blessings and said, "Please bless me, O revered saint." The Maharaji said, "Bless you. May you become human." The man exclaimed, "What sort of blessing is that? I am a human already." Maharaji replied, "The way an ant has a habit of accumulating things, you too have a habit of accumulating things and possessions. An ant at least accumulates only as much as it needs. You, however, are wasting your entire life in accumulating possessions. Hence, I am blessing you to be a human first." Kids, Maharaji said such a beautiful and meaningful things. Just like that man, we also spend our entire life accumulating things and possessions, like the way we force our parents to buy us toys and accumulate many other things. Do you think that everything that you are accumulating, will they ever stay with you forever? Do you think all your toys will stay with you forever? Will your friends stay with you forever? We spend all our time playing, roaming around with friends, and watching TV. And because of all of this, we don't even get time for religious activities. And what do we get by doing these things? We too, just like an ant, get so busy accumulating things that we forget to take out time for health, family, and everything else. We end up spending our entire life in collecting and accumulating things which are neither ours nor will they stay with us. Kids, just like when you grow up, your toys will break or may get lost. In the same way, the friend with whom you play so much, if his family moves to another city, then he too will have to go with his family and won't stay with you. Do you know the only thing that will stay with you forever? Think, kids. What is the only thing that will stay with you forever? Think, think, think. Okay, let me tell you. Kids, there is nothing in this world that will stay with you forever. Everything will drift away from you at some point in life. Let me explain this to you with an example. All of you have seen a CCTV camera, right? See how it captures everything, every moment? Now think, if someone tries to shoplift something when he feels nobody is watching him and leaves without making a payment for it, how would you react if you see this incident? You will immediately feel that the person has committed a crime. He has shoplifted. And now, the police will put him behind bars and say that he shouldn't have committed the theft. A CCTV camera captures and records everything. But it does not have any thoughts or feelings for that person. During the meditation of the soul, we do exactly what the camera does. We just watch. We don't analyze. Neither do we get any thoughts, nor do we judge whether anything is right or wrong. We just see and observe and realize that apart from this soul, nothing is mine. The analysis, emotions, feelings, nothing is mine. This is what a kinchan dharma is. A kinchan means kinchint matra, meaning not even the least of things are mine. Only my soul is mine, and it is always going to be with me. So kids, let's promise that from today onwards, we will not accumulate and collect things. We will not get attached to them. We will not force our parents to buy us toys, and we will share toys with our friends. Along with studying and playing, we will also practice dharma, since that is the only thing that will help us in the long run. So let us all say, Uttam Akinchan Dharma ki jai ho! Jai Jinendra!
Okay, बच्चों. Any question on Uttam Akinchan aka Uttam Aparigrah Dharma? Arush? The story was clear, right? है ना? At the end of the day, as I mentioned, it's about putting a limit, right? And that should be a mindful limit, not a limit put under coercion, force, or rage. है ना? The limit should be decided by you yourself, nobody else. And there are people who do put limits for a day. So you don't have to put limit for life, right? There are people who say, okay, today is a Chaturdashi or a Ashtami day. I will put a limit for that day. है ना? There are people who take limits in that sense. Again, it's all about your own conviction, and also there is no rule around for how long you should put a limit. है ना? Even if you put a limit for 2 hours, that's good enough. That's a good start, if not the end. है ना? Make sense, Udyan? Okay, so now let me play the video about Uttam Brahmacharya Dharma, the last one. And as I mentioned, Brahma, by the way, Brahma is a synonym for Atma, your own Atma, your soul. है ना? So Brahmacharya means to acharan, to stay within your soul or with your soul. The only possession that you have is your own soul, nothing beyond that. Right? Not even this body. That's what Brahmacharya is all about. Okay? So let's see Brahmacharya, the video on Brahmacharya. It's a story about from Ram Bhagwan's life, tail end, when Ram Bhagwan became Muni, and how the attachment of Sita's soul became a sort of, that became not a limitation on Ram Bhagwan's side, but Sita got too attached with Ram Bhagwan. Sita's Jeev, Sita's next birth, Dev, got too attached with Ram Bhagwan's life and tried to put some obstacles in Ram Bhagwan's path to moksha. Right? So this is a story around that, on how your attachment or expression of non-brahmacharya could become a hindrance. That's what the story is all about. Okay, so let me play the story.
Jai Jinendra kids! Look, the king of Ayodhya Ramji has taken Diksha, which is the renunciation of all personal possessions, worldly desires, and duties, and has become a monk, a Muni. His wife, Queen Sita, was a very devoted wife. Sita took Diksha from Prithvi Mataji, and she did a lot of tapasya, meaning religious penance, because of which in her next life she became a Dev, a being with superpowers in heaven. Sita in the Dev state saw Muni Ram in deep meditation and started thinking, if my dear Ram continues with his deep meditation, he will attain moksha, which is salvation, before me, and I won't even be able to meet or spend time with Ramji. So Sita Dev thought, why don't I disturb him while he is in his deep meditation so that he doesn't get moksha? He will get to be in heaven with me, and both of us get to stay together and will even attain moksha together. Sita Dev had the superpower to change his attire and looks. He could look like anyone. So he disguised himself as Ram's queen Sita. And she went to him and said, Hey Ram, I have been able to get you after a lot of hard work and prayers. Now please give me support and help. Stay with me. Why are you in deep meditation at this young age? However, Ramchandraji was in the deep meditation of his soul. Neither Sita coming towards him nor her words disturbed him and his meditation. He was like an unmovable mountain. Just how strong winds cannot blow away a mountain, the same way Sita Dev's tricks had no effect on Muni Ram, and neither did it disturb his deep meditation. Ram was completely immersed and satisfied in his meditation of the soul. He was in a blissful state. Neither did he have love for anyone, nor any hatred. When Sita Dev realized that he could not break Monk Ram's meditation, he got more than 1,000 girls with the superpowers. They started playing melodious music around Monk Ram. They started laughing attractively. To distract Ram's meditation, they made the entire ambience very attractive and interesting. However, Muni Ramji had the knowledge of Uttam Brahmacharya Dharma, or the supreme celibacy dharma. He knew that the Atma, meaning the soul, is beyond all emotions, worldly pleasures, and relations. Realizing this, Ramji was just engrossed in his soul, without any disturbances. He continued with his deep meditation of the soul, without being affected by any distractions. And then do you know what happened? His soul started becoming pure, and he became an Arihant. He became God. He became the best in the world. He became a role model for us. That's why everyone in India worships Ramji. Being absorbed in the soul is what Uttam Brahmacharya, or supreme celibacy, is, and an excellent example of this true story is of Monk Ram. Let us all hope that we also know and understand our soul and turn it pure. We will, right? Jai Jinendra.
Hey, any questions on the story? Sarthak, Tattva, any question?
No.
No? Makes sense? The story made sense, right? It's a story from Bhagwan Ram's life. Once after he became a sadhu, right? Not as a Shravak Ram or King Ram, but once he became a sadhu Ram, and not yet a Arihant. So this is a story from that phase of his life. Okay, give me a second. So I'll stop sharing. Here it is. And now let me talk about the assignment for next week. Okay, so let's see. You all have received your your assignments, right? I think we are doing it from number 8, Bhavna number 8, correct? So Bhavna number 8 is the Samvar Bhavna. And who has this Bhavna? Arush, you have the Bhavna number 8?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me recite it for you. Did you, by the way, attempted to recite from the English transcription, Arush? Do you know how to the pronunciations?
No, not yet.
Okay, so two things there. One, I will give you the pronunciation in this call now, but then I would like you to I will strongly encourage you to work with your mom. Okay. Also on YouTube, you will find several recitations of Bara Bhavna. If you'll search for Bara Bhavna and Raja Rana Chhatrapati, that's the first stanza of it. You'll find many bhavnas out there with lot many pronunciations. Pick any one of that one that you like and use that to learn the right poetic, the lyrical recitation of the bhavna. Okay, so this is Samvar Bhavna, right? So it is goes like this: Sadguru de jagaye मोह नींद जब उपशमे तब कछु बने उपाय कर्म चोर आवत रुके के सदगुरु दे जगाए मोह नींद जब उपशमे तब कछु बने उपाय कर्म चोर आवत रुके. Now what does it mean? When the true guru awakens a person, the intoxication of attachment and ignorance dissipates. Then a way is found and the karma thief are stopped in their inflow tracks. Right? So that's what Samvar Bhavana is all about. Two things. So one is you should memorize the Bhavana itself, the eighth one, and the translation of it. That's all. Right? If you look at it, it's not more than 30 seconds. Right? It's just about the right pronunciation. So you would have noticed that A with a hyphen, a dash on top of it is the A sound. What sound it is? A sound. है ना? So like that's why it is Sadguru De Jagaya. I. Okay? Moh Neend Jab Upash में. Right? Tab Kachu Bane Upay. And the M with a dot is a nasal sound. It's not M sound. It's a N sound with a nasal tone. Okay? Bane. अपन बोलते हैं ना बने, क्या बना रहे हो आप, क्या बनाया है, दैट बने. ओके, तब कछु बने उपाय कर्म चोर आवत रुके. Right? Again, I'm not saying rukme, right? Because the M with a dot is a nasal sound. It's not m sound. Okay? So that's what yours. Now the next Nirjara Bhavana. Who has the Nirjara Bhavana? Number 9. Number 9
I
and
do.
10. Okay, Mika. Do you know the pronunciation for these?
Yeah, I worked on this one with my dad.
Perfect. Would you like to share it with us? Maybe recite it?
No, I would only like to share it when it's like perfected.
अच्छा ठीक है, no worries. So let me recite it for you. ज्ञान दीप तप तैल भर घर शोधे भ्रम चोर या विधि बिन निकसे नहीं पैठे पूरब चोर. That's
I had a question. Is it like with a P, pete or bete?
it's पैठे, th sound. It's a hard T.
But does
So
it start with like a P or a B?
p as in Peter. पैठे.
Okay, thank you. That
पैठे
was
पूरब चोर. Okay.
okay. Thank
And
you.
next one is पंच महाव्रत संचरण समति पंच प्रकार प्रबल पंच इंद्रिय विजय देह निर्जरासार. है ना? And as
Yeah.
I mentioned, A with a hyphen on the top is A sound. Okay, Mika? So
Yes.
for you, it is recitation of the bhavnas and the meaning.
Okay.
Make sense? Okay. Next one, 10th. Udayan, do you have that 10th one? You have the.
I have number 11.
Oh, you have 11. So who has the 10th one? Oh, 10th one we covered. My bad. Yeah, you have the 11th one, which is the 10th bhavna, but it's the 11th stanza. That's the confusion. Yes, lok anupreksha or lok bhavna. है ना? So it goes like this. 14 raju utang nab, 14 raju utang nab, lok purush santhan, तामे जीव अनादिते भरमत हैं बिन ज्ञान. Make sense? Right? So again, M with a dot is a nasal sound. It's not ma. It's just hey. It's a silent M. If you know what I mean, right? And A with a dash is a sound, and T with a dot below it is a hard th, right? Like th sound. When you say thought, right? It still is a softer one. The th is a harder one. Okay, so that's what it is. Okay, next two are with Sarthak and Tattva. So I will go with Bodhi Durlabh Bhavna, which is Dhan kan kanchan raj sukh, सब ही सुलभ कर जान, दुर्लभ है संसार में एक जथारत ज्ञान. Make sense? Sarthak, is this something you are taking?
Yeah.
धन कन कंचन राज सुख, सब ही सुलभ कर जान, दुर्लभ है संसार में एक जथारत ज्ञान. Okay? And the last one is धर्म अनुप्रेक्षा with तत्व. जांचे सुर तरु देह सुख, चिंतत चिंता रैन, बिन जांचे बिन चिंतये, धर्म सकल सुख देन. Make sense? Okay, and as I mentioned, if you'll search it on YouTube, you'll find a more lyrical pronunciation for it. Try to follow that so that, when you are reciting it, it sounds very melodious, and also it helps you to remember it better, to memorize it better. Make sense? Any questions, beta? Okay. If we have no questions, then probably we can end today's session with Jinwani Stuti, and I'm looking forward to see you all on Saturday at 12 EST. Okay. जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक, ते वाणी मस्तक धरूं देहूं सदा धोक. हे जिनवाणी भारती माँ, तो हे जपूं दिन रैन, जो तेरी शरण आ गए माँ, सो पावे सुख चैन. जय जिनेन बच्चों, उत्तम क्षमा. Looking forward to see you. Okay, so mark your calendar. Okay, it's 12 EST. I have put it again in the WhatsApp group. Please look for that and ensure that you are there on time. Okay, Jai Jinendra.